Hi, I'm Exesis, and we're playing the German Empire in the Great War Redux mod for Hearts of Iron 4. And first off, I'm gonna apologize for missing out on 2 episodes last weekend, but I've been sick for 2 weeks, so I wasn't in a state to record, and I'm still not fully good yet, but I'm good enough to record, or at least I hope so. We're gonna deal with this in a little bit. I did notice something up here. We've got our fleet in a big battle here, but first off we've got one that's already been finished here. And in this one we've sunk 3 of the British pre-dreadnoughts, or their battleships, and they've got a lot of them here on station, so that's really good for us. And we've got a very good local superiority over them. So let's get rid of that one. And in this combat here, we've sunk an additional 3 and 3 heavy cruisers, or armored cruisers. And we also have a very good... these are disengaged, so they're not going to engage again. But with a little bit of hope, we can re-engage them again and maybe sink another few of them. So that's... the naval combat is really going our way, which is of course going to be needed if we're ever going to get across the North Sea over to the United Kingdom. On the Russian front here we seem to be doing okay. We've got a small pocket here we need to close. Let's work on closing that out instead. Oh, we're already attacking in there, so that should be fine that way. We'll support them from this direction too. Having a little bit of trouble here in the Carpathians. And down here in Greece, of course, this is all mountains, so this is absolutely terrible terrain to try to fight in, and they've stacked up quite decently here. They have a very low strength on their units, though. The Bulgarians seem to be running out of equipment as well. See if we can find some Austro-Hungarian units. Yeah, they seem to be doing okay on equipment. The Italians are about to just fold over here, and they have no equipment at all left. If we just push and prod them a little bit more. Now we've only got garrison divisions here, and remember, these are template. These aren't the most powerful units we have, but they're good enough to hold the line there. And of course, we're doing really well up here in France. We finally got our motorized divisions, or are as armored as our divisions get at the moment. We have yet to start pushing out tanks. And they've made a good push up here towards Le Havre. So Cherbourg is their next destination. And we're gonna see if we can't snatch Paris while we're at it. Before we go for Paris, we probably want to grab these 2 tiles as well. And I'd like to push down to Troyes and Bescan as well. I think that's all for our sit rep at the moment. We are still phasing in our rifles, so we're slowly moving them over from the Gewehr 98 to the Carbine Kaiser 98 AZ, a Karabiner. We're probably missing most of these from new division deployments. Oh no, we need 15,000 as division reinforcements as well. And that should... Now we probably need to put a little bit more factories on support equipment, as we are losing them. Mortars, we still haven't added mortars to all of our... to everything yet, and artillery is the same. I think we've got some lend-lease going on here too. We are lend-leasing howitzers, weapons, artillery, and motorized. I think that's fine. We need to make sure that our allies have equipment as well, of course. Austro-Hungary is the biggest of them. The Ottomans, I don't know if they're making that much progress here. Front lines start here, of course. And maybe we can get down there and help them, but of course they are fighting the Russians up here too now. Yeah, we're stretched thin. If we manage to close down one of these fronts, it should be easier. France will probably be the first to fold, actually. unless we manage to push far enough into Russia that they decide to fold over. The Russians aren't doing that hot either. Let's push here instead. See if we can push a bit into the swamps. It would be nice if we can grab one division from there and one division from there. This tile borders this one, so. And if we move, I might be able to with just the one division there and push in this way. That's across a river. This is also across a river though, but we've got an Austro-Hungarian division defending that tile. And we will support attack with this division here, so just stay in place here at least. We've got a small offensive going here. If we can reach Mosur and Salihorsk and Zotomir, would be nice. We could reach some kind of line up here. Vintusha. Odessa would be a nice price as well. I probably can cross the river here as well. Let's get some planning bonus going there. And we don't have anything. Yeah, we do have a big one there. We do have divisions down here building bonus. That's good. And the same thing up here. Yeah, we moved some of our... No, that's not the ones. We've got 13 divisions here under Kraft von der Menzingen. Trait, Officer Corral, we don't really care about the trait. And he is... What were we putting? I think we're putting infantry expert on these guys. Yes. So I think he should be an infantry expert as well. He can actually be an improvisation expert as well. That is very tempting. That means we would have one division here that's good for crossing rivers if we need to. With the makeshift bridges. Let's grab that one. And how are we doing here on the Russian front? Here we're going with ambushers. Improvisation expert here too. Alexander von Kluck. Yeah, I think we'll take that. Yeah, let's grab it on as many as possible. This is a really good trait to have. Adaptable too, of course. For tactic, I think. And what we're going with for the preferred tactics on these, are going with a breakthrough. And we had one over here. He should already have one. And here we are going back and blow. I thought we had different ones on them. So these are more defensive aligned, and these are more offensively aligned. It would be nice to see if we can't get some... Oh, he's not getting either of these. No, he's the Marine, of course he isn't. And he hasn't done any naval invasions. He's gonna get infantry leader soon, that's nice. He would really benefit from having improvisation expert. Got a bit left on trickster. Let's check Mackensen out then. He's already got cavalry leader and combined arms expert. He's not gaining anything to armored leader because he doesn't have the armored ratio. All of these are counted as motorized divisions and not armored divisions, which does make sense. And getting a little bit towards engineer, that would be a good one for him to have, as well as fortress bust actually. And the same thing here, trickster and improvisation expert would be really nice. We'll see where we get there. I'm not one for sitting in grinding traits. I don't think that's very much fun. Let's see if we can cross the river here. We're attacking in a lot of different locations. We've got our railway gun. Can we move it up a bit? No, it'll be just fine there then. It's on automated orders. But we should be trying to cross up a little bit closer here to encircle Paris. No, we probably can't get these 4 divisions off that tile. Might be able to make out there's a fort here too. No, the fort's here. Then we should be able to... Let's leave this division behind. Let's attack with these 3 and flank from that side. That's across the river, but it'll open up a little bit more. We'll leave the fort here alone for now. We can probably push into this tile. We move from 2 directions. Might be able to encircle this small hill here up by Nanzig. Let's just check on our air force a little bit quickly here. So we should have the superiority here. It's in the morning. No, we're on interception. Of course, we're not going to have the... No, we're on air superiority. Oh, that's the defenders, of course. No? No, I don't. This doesn't make sense. This should be ours. Yes. And we are on air superiority. And we own half the state. We have a good mission efficiency. They have a terrible mission efficiency. They have a lot better air detection than we do, though. It makes so big difference not having radars. But I think radars are way ahead of time. And we've got our operative here in Paris too. That's another reason for not taking Paris directly before we're done with these, because we'll get a small intel advantage. A small combat advantage from intel there, 3%. Alright, so we finished the medium tank chassis. I wonder if that is all the text we need. Let's press details here. And we'll see, we've got the turrets unlocked. We don't have any armor or engines, but we should be able to build a basic tank. They're not going to be very fast, but neither are these they will be replacing. And our motorized only does 8 as well, so that's kind of the maximum speed we're looking at. Support weapons could be a good pick. What else are we researching at the moment? We've got 1 on industry, 1 on artillery, 1 on aircraft. We probably should be getting more here for the tanks. 122 days to increase the engine. I think that's a good start. We will go in and design one of our tanks here for now. Okay, so let's get the tanks rolling. Let's no, it doesn't want to auto-design it. I just wanted to see if it had anything in. So we can put tank destroyers or artillery. We're obviously not going to do this. We have a 1-man turret. Medium turrets, well, yeah, we're going to put on a 2-man turret. Oh, that's quite nice actually. We've got the... This is exactly what we are aiming to build today. This is the AV7. That's the... It's actually a heavy tank. It's quite cool that they've got this in-game. Had a crew of 18. That's 2 per each machine gun. There's a driver and a co-driver and engineers, and 2 for the main gun, which was a 57mm cannon. Let's see what we have to put on. We're going to put on the medium cannon. These are probably going to be a lot better than they were in real life, of course. They weren't particularly good. Let's add the machine guns as well. It does have 4 of them. This is expensive. Very expensive thing. Let's leave it at boogie suspension. This is probably the closest to what it actually was. It had a just vertical tractor suspension. Riveted armor, yeah, we're not going to have anything else. Gasoline engine, well, that's true to its name. I think we can bump the speed up a bit. 7.4, that's as much as we get. We have a 6.4 armor. Oh, and look, We actually have a nice chassis here as well. So let's use the AV7 picture. Well, it's not an AV7, but it's close enough. Armored Vehicle 7, I'm guessing that was. No, actually it was the A7V, wasn't it? That's the way it's supposed to be. And I think this is that for our first tank. And now historically the Germans were very late to the game with tanks. They started getting them out in 1918, 17, 18. 17 probably. And I don't even think they managed to get 100 of these into the field. And the German tankers didn't really like them. They preferred the British variants, if I remember correctly. So they'd use the captured Mark IVs instead. But this is what we have now. A big bristling, it's basically a 36-ton steel bunker that can move across the battlefield. We need to get these into production, of course. And we might actually want to design some kind of light tank as well. That might be something that we got this up to. We want to have the as for research here, we put it on engines, and it's 200 days for the light tanks. It would be nice to get the light tank chassis as a basis as well, to kind of help fill out our divisions, so we can start getting rid of the armored cars, or phasing the armored cars out in favor of tracked vehicles. That's also why we're not doing this. It's why are so many of our... Okay, we get 25% bonus from Austro-Hungary having completed it. Don't really know why they've done that. How long until we finish something else? We probably have more industrial techs we'd rather do. I would like to get these done as well. And that would be useful. And these might be useful too, actually. There's so many things to research. This engine, so now we need to get these light tanks into production, I think. Yeah, we'll swap over to light tanks and then we'll fix the engines, and we can bump up the speed and we can convert them. I'll probably need... Let's do it that way. Probably need quite a lot of factories going into these tanks. They weren't super cheap. Only 13. For being a HOI4 tank since the newest DLC, that's actually okay. We are building lots and lots of railway guns. I like railway guns, so that's fine. And we're going to finish all 5 of them. Better have one too many than one too few. There are only 3 factories on armored cars, that's fine. We do need to have a little bit more on support equipment as well, I think. We really need to get these up, so we can work off that deficit. Just 1 on Zeppelins and recons, that's fine. Artillery, yeah, we got loads of artillery and we need even more. I think this is mostly from new deployments though, the artillery requirement. No, it's only about 1/3 from new deployments and 2/3 from reinforcements. And where were the artillery? And we are... Actually, is it... No, that's the howitzers. The howitzers are okay. 14 per day, yeah, we're gonna need more. We are building more or less only military factories now. I wish we had a little bit more civilian factories. We are soon into occupied territory where we're not going to be getting them, so we need to get the... Actually, I think we are on par with the research. No, this one will grant us more research, more factory slots. We'll do some readjustment after that one. That's fine. Now, we might want to check on our convoy raiding as well. So this combat has finished. Didn't change anything. We might have sunk another destroyer or 2. And we managed to engage the Russians over here. They actually sunk all of their fleet that they engaged us with, so that's nice. And maybe this one isn't actually assigned to anyone. No, it's not. Yes, it's assigned. Why are you being assigned there? Okay, just move down there because we need you to support more of these attacks around Paris. And that's the only... I thought we had more railway guns operational. I probably sent the other ones off and put them... have them parked somewhere as well, don't we? Don't know, that might be the only one. Let's check here. This is the easiest place to check. Yeah, we've got 3 of them. Type. So we've got you. You're up here. And then we've got this one. This one is actually assigned to an army and is moving up, so that's nice. And then we've got 712. And this one is currently parked down here in Greece, providing support. That's good. The bonus you get from, let's, how can we see here, railway gun bombardment reduces the defense of the opponents by 9.8 here. It's probably not full strength, and I think it's supposed to be 10% when it's at full strength. That's a really good way to get your opponent's defense down a bit, which is useful in mountains like here. That one's unassigned, and the other one up here is unassigned now too. Usually the easiest way to handle them. Okay, they brought some of our ships in to fix up some scratches in the paint. Maybe we can advance in this way as well. Let's keep pushing. See if we can reach Minsk. That would be a nice one too. Let's push in from 2 directions there again around Vilna. And see if we can't get a little bit closer to Lvov as well. It should be fine. I want to see if we can't get a little bit more power, pushing power in here. Yeah, you get in there as well. And they're building up some strength down here. It would be nice to advance on up here as well. It would be even better to be able to close out some distance here. And that shouldn't be a hard one to capture. It would be nice if we could get all the way up to this river here. Okay, so we have no template for the medium tanks we are producing. Does that mean we have started producing them? That's good. We're getting 2 per week. A fantastic production rate. Alright, so... yeah, we need to check our convoys. This are surface raiders. That's good. Okay, this isn't very good. I think we might have to abandon South Africa as well. It shouldn't make that much of a difference for us. If we start pulling back a bit here. I think if we just move this, we'll still want to do something like that. That should be fine. And if they lose there, they will pull back. Do we gain anything from holding this? No, we gain absolutely nothing from holding Walvis Bay. We are better off starting to retreat back and strengthening up these with 3 garrison divisions per tile there instead. Okay, we sent some Portuguese and another British. The easiest way to check this, of course, is up here on the lost ships. And we can see the current month, last month, no, current year is probably the best. We're in August. We can see we've sunk a total of 685 convoys. That's really good for no losses whatsoever. And during the last month, of course, we get the heavy ships we've sunk here and light hulls cruisers. Well, it's going well, the convoy battle. Let's have a quick check here on England, and we can see if we go over here on convoys, their supply is dwindling. If we look over the last 3 years, they produced 19 there. We are yeah, they're about on par with. Looks like they are producing convoys at about, actually more than we are sinking, so we need to get more ships out there sinking them. They've got a total of 477 convoys. And this one always gets me for, this is actually production and not total numbers. I got some damaged factories. That means our Zeppelins that are bombing them are doing something. Got loads of trains. We're not going to be able to make a big dent there, I think. But these convoys we should be able to dwindle down a bit. If we see what we have in the reserves here, we've got some destroyers and 2 submarines. Let's get these destroyers into the high sea fleet, I think. And we just have a big doom stack here. Let's grab these ones together. Let's merge them up. Of course, we want to make sure that it's proper insignia. We'll move it up to the submarine fleet down here, and they are patrolling around here. Maybe actually if we go into the British Intel screen again, and we go to, yeah, we can see what route they are. So they are actually avoiding these zones that we are preying in. So we want to have maybe one fleet operating up here as well. It can be under the same commander. Now we've got 4 submarine fleets. Could actually drop the what's this, the Iberian, no, this is the Iberian Sea. This is the African coast, in favor of Denmark Strait is probably safer than the Labrador. No, we can't. They're gonna have to pass through that. We can't really go into the dangerous parts in here. It's of course dangerous because they can fly aircraft. They probably don't have any aircraft that can do that, mind you. Let's get... No, that's not what we wanted to do. We want to have you on convoy raiding, and do we have a template saved? No. Let's save a template so we have one. 5 submarines, that's fine. This one of course needs to be a submarine, so we know what it is. And we need to up our submarine production a little bit, I think. And maybe we actually could put some more technology into this. Don't we have a commander here? That seems really wasteful. And Henning should be down here. Yeah. And these are currently operating down there. That's why we're holding on to Africa, of course, because we've got ports that provide us range down here. And resupply, which is of course is very important. It looks like Shear has some traits that needs to be assigned. But that's not what we were looking for. We need a commander here for the German Empire Flood of 4. Let's just call this the North Atlantic. Let's use a K. North Atlantic Raiding. And probably want to have someone with... The question is, do we want high maneuver or high damage? Damage will increase the damage we do, of course, leading to increased kills. Maneuver will make sure that they get away safer. Anything, of course, is positioning. And he is plus org, and they have a retreat, and that's actually quite good for a submarine commander as well. And 3-3-3-3, and an assignable trait. And that means we can assign Lone Wolf or Concealment Expert. Of course we're gonna go Concealment Expert. We don't need smoke screens, I think. But there we go. Albert Wilhelm Heinrich is now in command of the previously uncommanded. What do we have going on here? You are out patrolling. It's good that we have the destroyers out here patrolling, our torpedo boats. We could probably do with... We can move this entire thing up. We're not hunting that much convoys around here, are we? I do. Let's see what the... We check on the... No. Go in here again. So I don't think the British are operating any convoys over there. The Russians... they have a few running through here. We could put them... I think we are going to put them on convoy raiding in there. And the French have going through there. The Italians have nothing. No, but I think we will keep those 5 submarines in the Baltic. Let's go back here. Now we need to switch this over to something so we know what it is. And we will put them on convoy raiding instead. This of course is going to be... Now we can just use it, load in the template. And these could probably be smaller submarines, but we are only producing one type of submarine, I'm fairly sure of. That's what we could of course do, is build some kind of a midget submarine. Don't know if we've got any different hulls for it. No. And we can't really do any improvements here. Yeah, they're as good as they get. But we should probably look into trying to research some new ones. I think I want to have this one being different kind of icon. And this is a search party. And they don't have to be gunnery ones. And this is more of a... Let's just use the shield icon for these. They are escorts. And they can be the gun one. Down here, these are more raiders. These are surface raiders, so let's use the pirate hat. Or the tricorn. Let's get this rolling again. That should be the... Yeah, we wanted to fix up the submarine fleets here. We want to shift-click the African coast to get that one off. We will add in the Denmark Strait and Labrador Sea. We've got 4 different fleets. Oh, I just want to see this one here. We can raid effectively in 7.7 different regions. Which means we probably should add the Mid-Atlantic gap as well. They're not going through there though. They're going through the... They're going well out of reach for us, of course. Yeah, let's concentrate where we know they are and where we know they can be. Western approaches would be nice as well. And I think Western approaches is probably safe enough. Let's get rid of the North Atlantic Ridge for now. We shouldn't have anything too dangerous out here. They will have some ships, but they've got ships out here and here too. Alright, that's how we do it. The Great Arabian Revolt. Arab separatists began coordinated strikes against Ottoman garrisons in Hejaz. They proclaimed the beginning of the war for independence, and it seems that the European agents are helping them in this. Arab officers and soldiers supported the uprising on the peninsula, and now the Ottoman Empire fears the loss of Syria, whose populations are increasingly demanding independence. There is a high risk that the Ottoman Empire will forever lose control of the Arab peninsula. The Arabs have won their independence. This happened down here. So we got the Hejaz, going down here on the Red Sea and have joined up and into the Emirate of Asir, which is probably this one, yes, Asir, down in Sabia. Let's see what happens with these other ones, because I think they are also part of the same thing. They're just not in any kind of war yet. So the Arabs have won their independence. Yeah, so they join up with the Entente, of course. And if we go over to the faction map mode, it looks like the Nade has not sided yet. And this is still this match actually be the puppet of the Ottomans since before. And this is gonna rewrite a little bit here and gonna be a little bit of okay, the German-Liberian War. That's an exciting name for the First World War. Well, it actually says here the Great War at least. Here we go. This looks a lot better. The French Republic has called the Kingdom of Greece as our enemy in the Great War. Seems weird that we actually have Persian reclamation of. I mean, it's the same. It's just the Persian government there. Okay, so the Entente are fighting the Persian uprising there, and they've got two great wars going. Why haven't these two great wars joined? I wonder. That's 800,000. We're not in this one. And why are we not in this one? We'll probably get dragged into it and they will be recombined again. And while we're here, we can probably have a... let's see. We have lost... No, they have losses of 3.9 million. When we've lost 1 million. And we've actually lost most of the... taking the most losses ourselves. And they are in our fight, but not in our fight. And there goes Asir. Let's get rid of all these miners again. So Asir has capitulated. Okay, so the Ottomans had some divisions here that they are rushing up forward. Okay, we've got doctrines available, air doctrine. And we don't have very much more to take here. Now we could take this one to give us interception detection, which is quite nice for our interceptors. Or strategic bombing. Let's grab the strategic bombing. We are doing strategic bombing after all. And naval doctrine, we don't really have anything more to do. Neither do we with the land doctrine. Don't think there's a lot we can do here with our experience either. I wonder if they have implemented the... Yeah, they should have. We should be able to award our different divisions with things. Let's see if we can have a quick look at that then. If we go by... There should be one that is promotable. Citations. So we've got this one here. General Major Wilhelm Wagner of the 1st Sealand Division. That was the one we were looking at before too. And they marched into Katowice and they took part in the occupation of Cetinje. So we'll give them some citations for this. Now this is a Marine Division, which means they could be the tip of our spear against Britain. Breakthrough would be good, and supply consumption would be good. Org would also be very good. I actually think we should be able to give them 2. I think if we'll pick up the Knight's Cross here for lesser supply. How much supply consumption does one of these divisions have? So let's check. So 10% is down to about 90, 93. We'll end up at 94. 94 should be it. Or we could increase our breakthrough a little bit. Doesn't make that much of a difference here because we don't have that much breakthrough. The organization, of course, is always helpful. It's 10%, so that's 8 organization, which is a lot. 7% breakthrough, that'll be about 3 breakthrough on the division. That's not that much. Let's grab the Knight's Cross for the action in Katowice, and we will get the Iron Cross 2nd class for the occupation of Cetinje. There we go, Mr. Wilhelm Wagner. And then we've got Generalleutnant Karl Berggren of the 13th Infantry Division. He took part in the Siege of Brussels and the Siege of Calais. And this is an artillery division. Supply consumption is a no-brainer there. And I think we actually probably want to go with the same thing there, org. They can stay in the fight longer. This uses our political power. We don't have anything else to use the political power for. I was thinking this might be using our army experience, but of course it doesn't. Now this is a normal infantry division. It might be worth upgrading this one to something else. But with this kind of... Actually, let's see if we can find it. We should be able... No, we can switch it from here, right? Yeah, we can switch it up to an artillery division. We'll need a lot more artillery. We'll add the howitzer there. And we will add the supply consumption reduction. So they earn their howitzers. What more do we have here? Let's go through these a little bit quicker. We grab the supply consumption. And the same thing down on these. So I think this is probably one of the best ones. These of course have, if we go for stats here, they have a higher supply usage, and supply is the big thing in this mod. And we've got Heinz Hartmann, took part in the Siege of Warsaw, supply consumption for you. And actually, you should be swapping over to an artillery division as well then. Now we've got the Guards Cavalry Division. Now this one is interesting. Seized an airfield at Nice and took part in the occupation of Beograd. Because this template sucks. It's utterly useless. But it is quite big actually. We have a speed of 1. A low org, okay. Oh, that's temporary. Combat width of 11, because cavalry doesn't have very much combat width. Wanted to see the manpower. We can see that over here, right? Yeah, we've only got 5,000 men in this division. I would like to put this one up as a motorized division. Let's keep that one aside for a little bit. Where are we here? So let's grab this one, supply consumption. And that was all that we can give awards to. Yeah, so the easy part here is just to grab them on citation. If you want to promote one to a new general, you want to go by experience. Grab the highest amount of experience. These traits will stay with the division. And let's just have a quick look there. They are located along the front lines here. We probably want to bring him off. Let's unassign him and bring him up to Amiens for reconstitution. I also wanted to check our templates a little bit quick. Okay, so we did get an armored division template here. We will be adding, I think, the tanks into this division instead. I think that's the better way to do it. I'll probably make a... Actually, let's do that. Let's go in here. Let's just copy the name there. And I don't know if we want to delete it. Let's add a small 2 there. Save that one. Get rid of it. Grab the motorized division. We'll duplicate this one. And we will put in armor division. And I want to have a U there, because it looks very weird otherwise. And I wonder if we have... they should be on this one, of course. Oh, we've got the Panzer Division. And that does sound a lot better too. And we will swap this one over to the armored cars. We want armored battalions. So let's grab this one up into medium tanks. Motorized artillery, that brings the speed down a bit, really increases the breakthrough. And we keep the motorized, but try to make this a 1-1. This will bring the hardness up. And if we look at the composition here, you can see that we are up to 42% armor. So if we just have more divisions like this, if we manage to get all of our motorized divisions into this template, these should count as armored divisions. That was fun. Now, of course, we'll use the A7V for this division. And yeah, that will be fine. And we've already hit duplicate. So this is a completely new division. Motorized, can we get howitzers in here instead? Don't think we have motorized howitzers. No, we're just ordinary motorized artillery. Alright. We do have mortars, howitzers, support howitzers, logistics, reconnaissance armored cars, and engineers. Supply use is absolutely horrendous, so that's something we might actually want to look into for the promotion, because that's going to make a big difference here. Breakthrough, of course, is very good here as well. 10% organization doesn't make a real big difference on these kinds of divisions. About 30 is a very good number for an armor division. Let's save this here. And we now have our panzer divisions. Let's just quickly go in here, because I saw that they had the... we use the Kraftwagen back here instead. Just a quick fun change. This means that we will select this division here and go into template. Actually, we can, doesn't matter where we are, we can do it from here too. We'll swap this over to the Panzer Division. And we need loads of medium tanks, of course. We need some extra artillery, some extra mortars, some extra infantry equipment. And see if we can get into him there. No. The question here is, I really want the Knight's Cross on this division. But I also really want the Oaken Leaves and the Swords and Diamonds. Let's grab the, I think the Oaken Leaves will probably be... No, we're grabbing the Swords and Diamonds first. For the extra breakthrough. They of course need to get their tanks and their manpower. And their experience will probably be lowered by quite a lot. But we'll leave him there to reconstitute for a bit. They have absolutely no equipment at all now. But we are building factories at a pretty quick pace. So we should be... we'll see how long time will it take us to... That's 291 days, we're still increasing both the factory count and the production efficiency, so that should be done probably in 3 months or something. Maybe even quicker, 2 months. We will have to look into this a little bit. But for now though, the Kingdom of Greece sides with the Entente. The Entente achieved the political victory in Greece. Their pressure to make the Kingdom of Greece one of their allies in the Great War to support the Balkan theatre had succeeded with the pro-Entente Venizelist government of northern Greece. So we move onwards. I'm not going to read this one because it's kind of blocked there. But this is about time for this episode to end. So thank you very much for watching. Take care and see you next time.